Hi everybody, this is Maddie from the Canadian Gap Year Association, and in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about my gap year in Quebec and why I think Quebec is such an amazing location for those looking to take a gap year. So why Quebec? One thing I knew when planning my gap year was I wanted to find an opportunity where I could work on my French. So what better place to go to than Quebec? From a Canadian standpoint, there are so many benefits, but one of the big ones is price. Going to Quebec for a couple weeks or a couple months is significantly cheaper than, let's say, going to France for a couple months. Some of the other benefits include the people here. They are so nice, so friendly, so accommodating. The food here is amazing, and so many famous Canadian traditions actually arise from Quebec. And lastly, but definitely not least, the parks and the shops here are just amazing. You will never find yourself bored. Whether it's alone or with some friends, there is always something fun to do here. If you're someone who enjoys the outdoors, I've got good news for you. There are so many different things to do in Quebec, and one of the first things I did when I got here was I stayed in a small town called Baie-Saint-Paul. Baie-Saint-Paul is a little different than what you'll find in Quebec City and Montreal, is it's got that very quiet sort of small town feel to it. Little boutique shops, little restaurants, little cafes. It is just adorable, and if you are a fan of nature, you will absolutely love it here. There is an abundance of beautiful gardens, parks, and hiking trails for all. So that just goes to show. I think Quebec really just has something for everybody, whether you're looking for the more big city feel like Montreal or the more small town quiet feel like Baie-Saint-Paul. Now, if you're someone who's religious or you just enjoy walking in churches and exploring other religions, then Quebec has got you covered on that too. There is an abundance of just absolutely beautiful churches. And something I found really interesting and really cool was a lot of these churches are actually converted now into community centers or libraries. So it's really cool to just kind of explore them, and the architecture is just so beautiful when you walk inside. Some of these churches were just breathtaking to walk into. They were so big, and one of the most notable ones for me personally was in Baie-Saint-Paul. There's this one church sort of in the town square, and it really just sort of illuminates the town. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. I've included some pictures, one of the day and one in the night, but it really is just so fascinating to see all the different sorts of architecture and styling that goes on here. Now, if you're a food lover, Quebec has got you covered on that too. There is just an abundance of adorable restaurants, cafes, pâtisseries, boulangeries all over, and they are so good. Some of the most famous dishes here in Quebec are poutine and sort of maple syrup, sugar stick, lollipop type treats. They're super delicious, and you can find them just about everywhere. One of my favorite personal shops here was there's in a little chocolate shop called Erico's Chocolate. It's a chocolate shop and a museum as well, a really tiny museum, but still super cute. And it was just so good. So if you're in Quebec City, I definitely recommend you stop by there. When I was there, a lot of their Halloween stuff was on sale, so it was super awesome. I got to stock up on all the Halloween chocolate. Now, if you're someone who's very artsy or is into art, Quebec is the perfect place for that too. There is just an abundance of art everywhere, from drawing to literature to music. There is so much to do and so much to see here. When I came, it was around Halloween, so they had a lot of stuff set up for the season, most notably Plaine d'Abraham, or the Plains of Abraham. There was sort of like a garden walk around Halloween sculpture exhibit, and it was very interesting, and it's just a nice way to spend the day. They have signs in both English and French, so if you don't quite speak French, you can get away with walking around them in English. There's also a very popular museum here called Musée des Beaux-Arts, and it's sort of a modern, contemporary, Renaissance, sort of old style, it's just all of the arts. It is a very fun way to spend the day, and you could easily spend the whole day there. There's just so much to do. Another thing I want to point out is there are often a lot of concerts here, or a lot of music going on in the bars here. There's just, like I said, there's always something to do here. So if you are someone who is really into that scene, Quebec is perfect for it. Now, before I finish this video, I want to talk about one of my personal favorite activities to do, which was just walk around. I loved walking through Old Town Quebec, the old port, the different neighborhoods. I just found so much beauty in the city itself. I never found myself bored. There was always music outside, everyone was friendly, people were enjoying themselves, and just the nature and the paths to walk on are just everywhere. So you will never find yourself searching for a cute place to have a picnic or a nice walk to take. It was by far one of my favorite parts of the city. And if you come down here, I urge you to just, for a day, just walk around the city. Have no itinerary, no plan, just walk around it a little, and you'll be surprised by all the cute little shops you find and all the adorable parks you'll stumble into. That's all for today's video, but thank you so much for watching, Gappers. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're always posting new and engaging content, so remember to turn on that notification bell too. Bye, Gappers.